Hi everyone. I wanted to just kind of walk you through Unit 1 and Unit 2 so you got an idea of what my expectations were and what it is you need to be doing. When you log into the class, this is where you come to, and you'll see in the course menu there's learning units. So if you click on that, it'll bring you to the learning units. Right now these aren't available, but by the time you watch this video they will be. And you'll click on Unit 1, Introduction to Technical Writing. You'll see that these are your learning outcomes, all right? So make sure you look at these, you read through them, because these are my expectations of what you should be able to do by the time you complete this unit, all right? You'll see the activities. These have the due dates. Now, it says Review Learning Unit Outcomes. When you click on Review, it will send a message to me that you have actually read this particular piece of information. So make sure that you click on those review sections. So again, this goes through all of the activities and assignments in this unit. Then we have Tech Word here. This link takes you to a formal definition of technical communication, just to kind of give you something beyond my definition and your textbook for you to understand. Next is a video on Memo format. You need to watch that video, and I would suggest that you open the Memo format document and kind of watch it. Look at the document and watch the video along with it so that you kind of understand what Memo format is. This is important because this is the format whenever you're required to write a memo in this course. I'm going to expect you to have followed this format, to have used this template. So it's really important that you know how to use it. Next, you'll see Writing 1 exercise. Don't complete that until after, as it says here, you've watched the mini lecture and you've read chapters 1 and 9, okay? Because you won't be able to do that well. So you'll click on that, complete that assignment. It's a Word, it's set up like a test. It's counted not as a test, it's counted as an assignment, but just so you know. And basically what I've done there is I've given you 5 sentences and I'm asking you to revise them to be clear and concise and to sound professional. Okay, so it kind of gives me a gauge of your understanding of clarity, conciseness, and professionalism. But again, if you haven't gone through the previous steps, you're not really going to understand that. And then the final assignment in this unit is using the memo template, write a brief 1 to 2 page memo to me that describes an ethical dilemma that you have encountered. It may be a dilemma that you've experienced specifically, or one that's been discussed in the media. Maybe you've read about some kind of ethical dilemma, okay? But what I want you to do in this memo is explain to me how what you've experienced or witnessed is an example of an ethical dilemma. What kinds of ethical issues were presented? All right, and then your conclusion or your recommendation should be how those dilemmas, that dilemma or that problem could have been solved in an ethical manner, or how it was solved in an ethical manner if you did that. Your memo should again be follow the memo template. It should be in a Word document and submitted as an attachment when you click on this link. It's really important that it's a Word document because when I'm evaluating your work, I can't post comments on PDFs. I can't post comments on an RTF, so it's really important that you attach it as a Word doc. And as I mentioned earlier, if you don't have Microsoft Word, you can go to Blackboard. When you log into Blackboard, on the right side, it has all of the links to download Microsoft Office for free. So you can get all of those elements there. So that's that. The one point that I need to mention before I end is that you need to click on Course Documents if you haven't already done so, because in Course Documents you will see these are the editing abbreviations that I will be using when I grade your work. This is where your technical writing textbook is. I believe I mentioned in the Getting Started unit that this is online or a textbook free course. It's an OER course is what it's called. Online educational resources are used. So this is a free textbook that I found online. Now, it's important to note that if you don't watch the mini lectures, you can't just look at the textbook and be able to complete the work, because the textbook by nature, because it is an OER, doesn't provide absolutely all of the information that I want you to have in each unit. So while you do have a reading assignment, you really have to look at that mini lecture and take notes, because that's going to be the bulk of where your information comes from. In the mini lectures, I review the textbook materials that I want you to know, and I also add to it. Okay, if you are experiencing grammar issues, then you'll find the Guide to Grammar here. Again, that's a free online textbook, grammar textbook for you to have access to. Oh, backing up. One of the things that you can do with a PDF is you can download it to your computer so that you don't have to be online to use it. So if you have intermittent internet like I do at my house, you might want to download these so that you can open them up and refer to them at any time, whether or not you're actually online. Here in Course Documents is also where you'll find your NQA, your Student Code of Conduct, and your accessibility and privacy statements. So all of that is here in Course Documents. Again, go to Learning Units, and for Unit 1, or for this grading period, due by June, I'm just going to say January 18th, June 18th, you are responsible for completing Unit 1 and Unit 2. Unit 2 is Audience and Purpose. It's a little bit shorter than Unit 1 because it only covers one chapter, which is Audience and Purpose. Again, I've got my learning outcomes, your activities, a video on Audience and Purpose, a quiz that has to do with both the reading materials and the video, and an Audience and Purpose assignment that you are required to do. Now, all of the activities in both Unit 1 and Unit 2 are due no later than 11:30 p.m. on June 18th. So make sure that you look over things and that you pace yourself accordingly, because this will be expected. If you have questions, post them in the questions and comments forum or drop me an email. I look forward to hearing from you soon.